Eric, it's a part of our culture.
Just mix some sodas, like no biggie.
No.
It's not even like it's that innovative or crazy. Like,
it is though.
Here's the thing.
The Arizona Coyotes are relocating to Utah, and the name is up for grabs.
Oh man, have you seen the list?
Yeah, so that's actually what we
is
have.
Kind of concerning, honestly.
Yes. And I feel like there's so many people in the world, not just members of our faith, who want to be modest. And like, there's just been such limited options for so long. Hey guys, welcome to the Third Hour podcast, where we talk about church culture and real topics within the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. My name is Mimi. I'm your co-host, joined by my co-host, Eric, and my husband. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. So today we're doing like a little bit of a different style of episode. This will be hopefully a shorter episode. We are just going to run through some of the recent news stories within the church and church culture this month. So
I love how you said hopefully, because like everybody knows they don't want to listen to us that long, but we just keep talking and they're stuck with it.
I mean, I feel like we go into episodes often. We're like, okay, this will be like a mini episode, or like this one will be shorter. And then it's like we're filming for an hour and a half. So this one will be different. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And let us know if you like this style of video, where we kind of go like rapid fire. We want to keep you up to date and in the know with church stuff, and I think these are some fun topics. So if you have any in the future, feel free to send them our way. But let's start with some celeb news, my favorite.
There we go.
So something that's been super popular recently on social media is the trad wife trend. Have you been seeing this?
Yeah, like the ladies who go in their garden and milk their cow and make cheese and spend 36 hours in a day
mozzarella.
cooking.
They like squeeze it. Them personally.
Honestly, I don't see the trad wife videos. I see the videos that are a satire of them, where they go out and they milk their dog and then all that.
Yeah. But I just think it's super interesting. So trad wife, if you're not familiar, it's short for traditional wife. And it's just these like housewives or stay-at-home moms or stay-at-home girlfriends who are living their best homemaker lives. They're like taking it to like scratch.
An extreme, which doesn't have to be a bad thing, but they're going above and beyond. This is not just like, oh yeah, my mom made bread at home sometimes.
Right. Like, they're like borderline,
they're kind of like
homesteading. Yeah. And like wearing like dresses.
Yeah, they make their own dress and they weave with the fibers they grew on their own property. And
that's a little far, but they're really wearing floral dresses. They are. And like, it's just, it's so interesting that I feel like this is coming back into style and is more widely accepted. And I think it just shows that we always swing back and forth on the pendulum. For so long, it was like career woman and, and feminism. And I believe feminism is actually just empowering women to do whatever they want to do. And so I think it's really refreshing and cool that this is kind of coming back as like, this is accepted in society.
I wonder if it comes down to everyone's just so tired of everything being a side hustle and always being, like you had the businesswoman, but then it was like, well, but what are you doing with your free time to make money? What do you know? And everyone's like,
the boss babe.
I'm done with all that. I'm just going to go milk my cow and make some cheese.
I mean, but then posting on social media is like a side hustle. So it is. They're boss babes in disguise, which honestly, let's take a break from the side hustles. Let's breathe. But anyway, that's a whole other
time for some side
that is
chilling.
My personal soapbox. But I don't know. And it is interesting though, because there is some backlash against the trad wife trend. And it's like, there's a reason we've moved away from this as a society. And I think a lot of it is tied to like people who are super against the patriarchy. And I feel like sometimes it's like connected. People view trad wives as connected to like, oh, they are submissive to their husbands and
or
all
abused
of that,
or that kind of
But I feel like obviously that is not a good situation to be in, and our church is firmly like men and women, husband and wives are equal partners. They have different roles, but they need to work together as a partnership. But anyway, I think it's cool to see the trad wife stuff. I feel like it makes me more like because I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm working part-time from home. So, but I am like a stay-at-home mom, and I feel like it just makes me feel like less alone, and also like it's aspirational. It's cool to see. I'm like, maybe I'll have a garden one day. I don't know. I'm really not like a gardener. I'm like, maybe I'll have some herbs or something.
A garden's a lot.
A garden is.
That's, I guess, you can have a small, simple garden very easily. That's not too big a deal. But what these people are doing, where they're going out and getting their food from their garden, maybe not every night, but at least a couple times a week, like that's a lot.
Or having chickens. See, I don't think I would go that far, even having chickens, but I am so happy for them. And I think it's cool that it's like more widely accepted. Like, let's encourage women to do what they want to do and what they're passionate about. So
question, cool. What makes this one church news?
I just feel like, so a lot of the trad wives that are really popping off on social media, namely Ballerina Farm, are LDS. Like a lot of them are like Utah-based LDS creators. They don't like super promote that they're LDS. I feel like it's like, oh, my cousin's sister has her in her stake, so I know she's a member, and people will garment check and do all of that stuff. But I feel like you can figure out if someone's a member, and a lot of them are. And obviously with like the family proclamation and everything, I feel like it just kind of fits in and works.
I mean, that's a much better thing for Utah members to be getting big on social media with, instead of like the whole swingers thing and all that.
Oh my gosh, so true.
Much better thing. Even if you don't super agree with the lifestyle and you think it's too far one way or whatever, like it's a much better thing to be getting out there.
Period. It's so true. Okay. Ooh, this is fun. So Jasmine from Scripture Central, we love her. We've had her on before. Watch her episode. It's so good. She did a survey recently where she was asking people about like negative aspects of church culture. She also talked about like the positive aspects of church culture. But I think it's so interesting because I feel like we're getting to a point as a church where we're just getting so sick of like even talking about church culture. Like I feel like people are like, oh yeah, it's like, it's the culture. And I don't know. I feel like people are just getting sick of it. And so Jasmine kind of just put together this whole survey of like, when you say church culture, like what are you exactly referring to? Like what are you complaining about? And I thought the results were really interesting. So I thought we could watch this.
All right, the results are in on my very unscientific survey of what you guys did not like about church culture. These are things not tied to the doctrine, but traditions or practices that have developed over time. Coming in at first place with 60 comments across the different platforms, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and over 400 likes, is our emphasis that men wear white dress shirts for church and the sacrament, and that they do not wear beards, or specifically leadership don't wear beards. Now, I just looked, and I could not find a reference in the handbook to beards or facial hair anywhere, so I don't know if this is still a formal policy. But for a long time, it has been a tradition for men serving in a bishopric, a stake presidency, or as a temple worker to shave and not have facial hair. Same thing with white shirts. I could not find any reference.
Quick note about beards. Oh, I thought it would pause. Shoot. Just because it's not in the handbook now. I think it might have been at one point. But I think it definitely is like a culture thing.
When we were temple workers, it was a rule at our temple.
Yeah. Temple work, I think, is the only place now that you can't have a beard.
For men serving in a bishopric, a stake presidency, or as a temple worker to shave and not have facial hair. Same thing with white shirts. I could not find any reference in the handbook to wearing a dress shirt or a white shirt for passing the sacrament or for being at church. The only reference to a white shirt is that they do say that in the temple, men wear white shirts. It makes sense because all of us are wearing all white. Now, I'm not going to go through all of these because we tabulated 167 complaints people had across about 2,000 comments on social media. But number 2 was just general judgment, pride, and hypocrisy. This one, modesty standards and culture, a reference to how traditionally we define modesty as what covers the temple garment, covering shoulders, going down to the knees, nothing too low cut on the collar. 24 different people talked about how they did not like having to clean the church on a regular basis, and they would rather the church have the funds to provide that cleaning service for them. There are actually several variations of complaints about the word of wisdom. This one about they wish there was more musical variety or more lively and uplifting music. That's something I personally would love to see, so no complaints there. Shout out to the 4 people who wanted to bring back longer church meetings. I see you. I applaud you. I am not one of you. This was my personal favorite comment. We need more Kirby Hayborn movies. 100%. I agree. One thing I thought was really interesting was there were so many people complaining about some aspects and then just as many people like kind of pushing it back against the opposite thing. So there were a lot of different people trying to express frustrations with aspects of the word of wisdom, and then just as many people saying that they wish the church would enforce the word of wisdom more strongly. Some people felt that the church is too conservative politically, and then others felt that the church should be more conservative on certain issues. And obviously this whole exercise has been about finding things we didn't love about the culture, but then there were a lot of people who also were complaining about the church culture. All of this is to say, this is a really instructive exercise. Clearly our culture's not perfect. There are definitely things we can work on and improve, but I think it's also instructive to realize that there's not going to be a one cure fits all. There are lots of things where there's going to be disagreement about what's a helpful practice and what's harmful. Things that resonate with some people, like lively music, actually might not be as helpful for other people who resonate really strongly with the more somber music. So I hope we can have charity for the people who experience the church in different ways and appreciate different aspects of our culture while recognizing there's ways we can improve. So my question for you, since this one was number one, why do you think that we emphasize having white shirts in the church?
Super interesting, right?
Yeah. That's funny because I remember growing up, that was just a rule for the sacrament, white shirt. You have to, has this symbolism, all this stuff. I would have told you it was in the handbook for sure because that's just how it was taught.
And maybe
that's the rule.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
I think it's super interesting. And I just wonder, because I feel like the church is changing so much with these younger generations too. I feel like Gen Z and Gen A are going to be more just chill, but respectful towards things that deserve respect, like the temple, obviously, and so much love and respect to the older generations. Of course, they've done so much for our church and bringing us to where we are. But I think it's interesting how we'll continue to see things kind of change. And especially hopefully some of the judgment and people feeling hypocrisy. I feel like I've been hearing so much talk recently about how the church is we don't need to be perfect coming to church. The church is for broken people. And, people might have been saying that forever, but I have personally seen more of an emphasis on that lately, which I love. So I think it's cool to see, and it's interesting just to see how the culture will continue to change. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, this one I'm really excited about. You might not be as excited,
okay.
But it's 1950s modest swimwear is coming back.
My favorite thing ever.
Which is
I can't wait to see the modest swimsuits for men from the 50s.
I don't know.
Or am I left out of this?
You are left out of this. I think
you got my hopes up. You got me excited, and now
stay the same.
No,
I mean now it's getting a little shorter.
Guys had the whole bodysuit with the swim cap.
You want that to come back? You should wear that at Bear Lake. Okay, let's watch this.
Can we get coverage and not a diaper look? Well, lucky for you, I already started working on this last year. You guys, I was super inspired by vintage 1950s and early 60s swim as a way of giving you guys the coverage that you needed. This Daisy Duke cut is so feminine and fun, so definitely cute. Anti-diaper. I'm giving you princess scenes down the front with two pockets, a wide square neckline with stretchy adjustable straps, complete with gold hardware. You're gonna love that this suit is fully lined, meaning no see-through moments, plus that extra layer of fabric gives you a little bit of extra compression. Cinchability is a must because we love us some snatchability. You guys, this is the Reef Romper, and a year ago when I designed this, I had no idea that we were going to be in a me espresso moment, but I am living for it. So thank you, Sabrina, for bringing 50s vintage swim back. I think it is so flattering for so many bodies.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. My friend actually, who's not a member, sent this to me because she knows my standards. I'm a modest girly. And she sent me this. She's like, how cool is this? This is from Blogilates. He's a huge mainstream influencer. And I personally am a huge fan. And
that's great, just because then it helps women who want to dress modestly just have options at the store finally.
Yes. Yes. And I feel like there's so many people in the world, not just members of our faith, who want to be modest. And there's just been such limited options for so long. So it's exciting to see that it's coming back. And I feel like people are really prioritizing more comfort and dressing for themselves and okay, this is what I feel good in and not dressing for other people. Which anyway, I'm just excited. And I feel like it's just cool to see it come back. Yay!
Yay!
Okay.
All right, is anyone actually seeing that come back? Are you guys seeing that, or is this just one random video online? Let us know.
This might be the start.
We'll see.
Because that's the thing, you could always probably find something like this on like Etsy, but hopefully we are going to start seeing it come back. Okay. So this isn't directly like church related, but it's church culture related. Okay. We all know Utah is like the biggest state for the church in the United States. And Utah was ranked as the best state in the country.
By who?
By a real person. Okay, the U.S. News and World Report rankings. Okay, I was surprised too. So glad you asked.
70 different metrics,
yes.
Thousands of data points. Wow.
Second best for education.
States that best serve their residents. Okay.
Third best for economy and infrastructure. I think it was like 9th for crime. So that's exciting.
Nice.
Well,
cool.
That's all you have to say.
Actually, no. I wish we ranked lower because housing prices kind of are a pain here.
That's the thing.
And we don't want to attract anyone to Utah.
Mm-hmm. People are commenting. They're like, that's nice if you can afford to live there.
Yeah.
It is a struggle.
I mean, the big thing is we just need more housing, more affordable housing, but everyone wants to build these nice big homes with big yards. And it's like, you know what? No, we need high capacity housing. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, I don't want an apartment complex in my neighborhood. That's ghetto. And it's like, that's just rude. No, it's good to have apartments around. It's a good thing.
I know we need more diversity. That's my biggest complaint with Utah actually probably is a lack of diversity. And I feel like we're seeing more of it. We're in northern Utah and I feel like there's definitely, well, depends on the area. We're in a small little town, so there's not a ton of diversity here. But like Ogden is like way more diverse than where I grew up in Utah County. And I think that is the one thing that Utah would really benefit from is just more diversity in culture and people and like in some of these small towns, like you said, like having more affordable housing for all different people. So anyway, something actually that's cool that goes along with it is that our presiding Bishop Gerald
Causse. Oh, is he still the presiding bishop? Wow. Nice. I always lose track of those guys. We were just having this conversation about how people don't know like the name, like and I'm assuming many other people don't always know the names like the women leaders in the church, like for the Relief Society presidency and Young Women's presidency. And Mimi's like, it's kind of sexist, right? And I was like, no. Because I also don't know who's in the presiding bishopric or the Sunday school. It's like the ones that rotate, like it's hard to keep track. So I was surprised he's still in there. I forgot.
Yeah. Which I don't think you're sexist. I see where you're coming from, but I do think we should know. And
it's like Quorum of 12. They've been there for a while. Like, it's easy to keep track because they don't change every 3-4 years, whatever it is. I don't even know how often these guys change. Is it set or is it just like when inspired to change?
Anyway, so Bishop Causse talked about this. He's like, why is Utah thriving? He spoke at this international trade summit in Salt Lake City. So if you're wondering why Utah's thriving, here's what he said. We care for our natural environment. We serve each other. Cool. Well, this is what he said.
Well, I mean, that's something we should all care about. It's just, there's debate, the whole debate. Salt Lake and all that stuff. Yeah,
there's debate. Promoting education and peacemaking. And he's talking about how it comes from our pioneer values, which this is actually really cool. I want to listen to his whole address, but the LDS Newsroom did like an article about it. So anyway, I just think it's cool. Obviously, there's a lot to complain about with Utah. People, you either love it or you hate it, but it's cool.
Or you love to hate it.
But I feel like there's just a lot of actually really good things about Utah. And I feel like it makes sense that a lot of it comes from our pioneer values and roots and the church having a large influence in the state. I do.
There you go.
Okay. Here's another thing that Utah needs more credit for. So have you noticed that dirty sodas are becoming more popular? Not like soda shops, but like Coca-Cola Corporation is putting out dirty sodas.
Oh, it's like flavored Coke?
Yes. And okay, I know that like cherry cola, whatever. Cherry Coke has been around for a little bit, but have you guys heard, people love it, the Dr. Pepper, the creamy coconut Dr. Pepper.
Oh.
Okay. And then there's also strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper. And then Coca-Cola Spice. I haven't even heard of this. I guess it's Coke flavor with raspberry and spiced flavors.
Spiced flavors.
Which sounds really strange. They should probably wait for the fall.
That's kind of crazy to me because like Dr. Pepper and Coke both already have like very strong, complex flavors. So to throw stuff in with that kind of seems wild to me. But I mean, I guess you do it every day. So.
Okay, not every day.
But most times you drink Coke.
Yes, when I drink a Diet Coke, I want it with a little peach Torani syrup in there.
But you're also picking like one fruit usually. Like fruit and spice. That's surprising to me.
It's really interesting. I want to try it, but I don't know. I feel like we need to give Utah some credit and members some credit. Like Coca-Cola, write Utah a check because we made this popular. And the thing is, you guys made fun of us for it.
I mean, calling it dirty soda kind of like sets you up for it.
Okay. Well, regardless of the name, I like have posted videos on TikTok where I'm like making my Diet Coke and like putting in the creamer and putting in the syrups, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, that's so weird. Like you're adding more sugar." Blah, blah, blah. Okay. But now it's like becoming such a mainstream thing. And I know there actually are like soda shops that are getting popular around the country. Like Utah natives are bringing soda shops like to other states, which is my dream, honestly. When this podcast inevitably, I'm just kidding. when the podcast goes downhill, that's where you'll catch me. We're going to move somewhere and
so
open a soda
podcast stops for me. It's going
shop.
to move and start a soda shop, huh?
I mean, maybe in a few years. We need to save. But
we're not moving to start a soda shop.
Okay. No, not okay. Let's back up. We're not going to move to start a soda shop, but if your job takes us out of state,
that's a lot more reasonable.
I think that we could do it because it's incredible and anyone who tries it knows it.
Also, like easiest thing ever, right?
Right.
You don't have any perishable goods as a business. I mean, I guess some of them have like fruit purees or whatever. But I'm like, you have soda and you have syrup. You throw a couple things in there. You can train a high school kid to do it so easy. You don't have to worry about cooking or fire hazards, all that.
You don't even need an in-store, like it can just be a drive-through. I love that you're talking yourself into this right now.
I'm just saying it's such an easy business. It's crazy that people even make money off it because you can just do it in your own house. It's so easy.
Well, I think legally you have to, I don't know. I haven't
I'm saying you literally do it in our kitchen for yourself.
Oh, I see. Except the syrups are expensive and people like to mix it
the
up.
Variety,
you know what I mean?
But
like
the thing, what about the people who get the same drink every time?
They should invest. Like that's what I've done. Like should invest in the syrups at home. So I see what you're saying. But it's like, it's a fun little, like, go get a drink with the girls. Not that kind of drink. Like, it's just so fun. But anyway.
That's true if it's an outing. But then
it's an outing.
It's a whole,
it's an experience. A little drive through. It's like a little treat. You're running your errands. Oh, I'm going to get a little treat.
There you go.
That's what used to get me out of the house to do errands. Now I'm a stay-at-home mom and I like die to get out of the house anyway. But anyway. That's another episode.
It's like you're trapped in the home.
I know, I'm really not.
She looks forward to outings because, your day can get monotonous being in the same place all day.
Yes. This is unhinged. This episode is unhinged. We should never film this late again.
Trad wives are all trapped in their homes.
Trad wives need soda shops. Okay. But the moral of the story is, also I want to give credit to Meg Walter for Deseret News, who wrote about this. Actually, it was a really good article where she's talking about it's Utah erasure. And it really is.
It is?
Yes. Like now, creamy coconut Dr. Pepper is just going to be a thing and people aren't going to know its roots. And I know the root was a can of Dr. Pepper and a coconut creamer coffee mate together by a Utah mom. And she should get credit. That's all I'm saying.
I guess it's just not even a big deal.
To you, Eric.
Utah erasure. Like, jeez, it's a drink.
No, Meg gets me. Eric, it's a part of our culture.
Just mix some sodas. Like, no biggie.
No.
Like, it's not even like it's that innovative or crazy. Like,
it is, though.
Here's the thing. If people were mixing up their own syrups at home, like if they were on the stove, they were over here like, oh, I'm melting down sugar with this and doing that and putting it in drinks.
The trad wives are probably doing that.
If that's what happened, started in Utah and then Coke took it over, I could see you saying it's Utah erasure. But saying like, I put some Tarani syrup in a can of soda and called it a day, like, okay, sorry, you don't get credit.
It's not the syrup, it's the creamer. It's the half and half. When someone outside of Utah or isn't a member of the church hears that I put creamer in my soda, coffee creamer in my soda, they freak out. And I said, don't knock it till you try it. And people love it. People thank me for it, Eric. I have a video.
Which is crazy because people know about Italian sodas.
No, I don't think that's as big outside of Utah either.
But I'm like, they're literally Italian sodas. Like, they didn't come from Utah.
Oh, Italy. I mean, maybe.
Italy.
Yeah, but we don't.
Is Utah culturally appropriating Italian culture and then trying to claim it and now defend it? That's crazy.
It's different. We've made it our own. Is that what cultural appropriation is?
We took their culture and made it our own thing.
Tyson, please cut this out.
All right.
I am against cultural appropriation.
Except in Utah when we make it better.
And
then we deserve credit for cultural appropriation.
Here's why we deserve credit. Okay, maybe not credit.
We deserve money in our pocket.
We need to acknowledge that this comes from members of the church not drinking coffee.
Yeah.
Like that's where the soda popularity came from. Or alcohol.
Drinks get boring. You got to mix it up.
You can get at the bar if you're out with people who are drinking. You can get a little Shirley Temple or Roy Rogers. And then it's like fun drinks you can have at a wedding or a party. And then also like people just need their caffeine, which is debatable. We can talk about that in a whole other episode about Word of Wisdom. But I feel like that's where this comes from, obviously. And so that's why it's like such a thing. And I'm so passionate about it. And I love it.
All right. And that's where we'll end that one. What do we got next?
Okay. This is the last one.
Ooh.
Utah is getting an NHL team, which is very exciting. The Arizona Coyotes are relocating to Utah, and the name is up for grabs.
Oh, man. Have you seen the list?
Yeah, so that's actually what we have.
Kind of concerning, honestly. Some of the suggestions on there, I'm like...
Which is why I've brought our own suggestions to the table today.
Let's go.
If you haven't heard, Smith Entertainment Group is they released a bracket to name the new Utah hockey team. And here's the list. Why is this one first? Utah Mammoth? Which I don't even understand. Shouldn't it be the Utah Mammoths? Are the players mammoths?
Yeah, I don't know.
Any mascot is like it's a plural. Are they one mammoth?
The team is a mammoth together.
Are they like...
I don't know. You know what? It just gets weirder from there anyway, so there's no reason to get stuck on that.
Well, why is it listed first? That's why I'm concerned.
It's just a random order. Or the guy who wrote it down liked it.
Okay. Utah Freeze. That's okay.
Well, here's the problem I have, okay? Like, when you're thinking of what your team name is going to be, like, you got to think about what your mascot's going to be. The Utah Freeze? Like, you're going to have a snowflake wandering around? Like,
that'd be kind of cute.
Yeah, you don't want cute. It's an NHL team. You want someone that's going to go beat up the other mascot and represent you.
What about like a hail? Like a one piece of hail?
Just a hard white ball. You're like, what, is that a gumball?
Snowball. Or a snowman. Like a mean snowman.
Ooh, a mean snowman. Anyway, that's where I'm like, same thing with the next one. Utah Venom. I'm like.
Oh, that could be like a spider.
A spider. A snake would be better than a spider.
Oh.
But then it's weird because you're being named Venom, which is like not actually the snake.
Spider-Man.
But I don't know. I'm just kind of random. I don't know. For some of these, I'm like, it's kind of weird to me to think like the Utah connection. I don't know. Do we have that many snakes in Utah?
What? Where's that?
The connection to Utah to make it the name for our team.
I thought that was a team name, the Utah connection. I was like,
that's actually pretty good compared
Utah
to a lot
thing
of these.
I've ever heard.
That actually, you know what? Utah connection. Maybe that should be.
Is the mascot going to be a puzzle piece?
No, it's going to be Mutual.
Mutual, the app?
Yeah, that'll be the mascot.
The hands shaking?
No, just Mutual. The app itself will be the mascot. Anyway, but I mean, like, I don't know. Are we known for having a lot of snakes, like Venom? It's kind of weird.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I think Utah Black Diamonds is actually cool because of skiing. But skiing
the connection
is
is there.
Sport.
The connection is there, but again, what's your mascot going to be? 2 diamonds standing there?
No, like a ski poles, but then it's hockey.
Like,
so that's
like
kind of
what?
Weird. Okay, let's each pick our favorite, and then we'll get to the suggestions.
Okay, also though, caribou, like, it's one of the few animals on the list. Maybe the only one.
A mammoth.
It's like a moose, you know?
Oh.
But like, again, Utah caribou. Do we have those in the state?
Well, we must, or it wouldn't be on here.
Wait,
mammoths are extinct. There must have been mammoths here at one point then.
Make it the Utah dinosaurs, right?
I mean, we have a dinosaur park.
Well, yeah, because there's a huge amount of dinosaur bones found in the state. There's a big history behind that, you know. Got a lot of dinosaurs that were named in Utah. So, like, that at least would be relevant. And that'd be pretty sick. T-Rex on skates.
Yeah. That should be on this list.
A lot of the names are just kind of weird to me. It's like Blast, Fury, like, I don't know.
A lot of snow.
Like they could work, but they're just kind of random.
Okay, pick your favorite.
That's my problem. I don't know if I liked anything on the list.
Eric, one of these is going to be it.
I know, and that's why I said this list is an issue.
Yeah, we're going to have to send our list. I'll say my favorite is Utah Blizzard. Because I think that's fine.
I heard a guy say it should be the Frozen Pioneers.
Okay. See, this is more where the direction I want.
Which I think is a little insensitive because like literally people died and froze coming across the plains. So I get that would not be good. It is Utah history, you know, and relevant to hockey, but not great actually.
What about just the Pioneers?
That's just lame.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's a little bit, but we could embrace it.
But have a hockey mascot as a pioneer.
That would be so funny. He would come out in like what are those wagons? One of those
covered wagon. The whole team jumps out from a wagon and then comes skating.
Oh my gosh, I can see it.
That'd be so bad. A high school, I could see it. A co-ed team, that would be great. Like a co-ed.
Like, is this track or the high school hockey team?
A co-ed hockey team hopping out of a handcart. Like, well done.
Okay, so these are all ideas from our audience.
Okay.
I did say name the hockey team, wrong answers only. And this is what we got.
Okay.
But these are fun.
Nice.
Okay. The Angel Moronis. Okay. Best mascot ever. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Can you imagine like one of those fully gold, like you see him on the streets in New York City.
Yeah, he's got the trumpet.
Like, yes, the fully gold painted.
Looks like he just walked off the top of the temple.
Yes. Oh my gosh. They could like do when they're announcing the name, they could like take a picture of the Salt Lake Temple with the Angel Moroni missing and be like, where'd he go? And it's like, that's the reveal. Hire me. Oh my gosh. Okay. I would work on that campaign. Okay. Read if you see any you like. What the HE double hockey stick?
All right, that's a good one. I mean, obviously it doesn't flow as a team name, but that could be the team slogan.
That should definitely be. They need to do something with that. The Stormin' Mormons.
That's just so overdone at this point, you know?
Really?
Yeah, I mean, that was like...
Has anyone ever called you a Stormin' Mormon?
I mean, like, I feel like every ward I've been in, like, someone played sports, and that's what they called them on the team.
Oh, for real?
Outside of Utah, you're the one Mormon guy on the team, and they're like, oh, he's like the soccer player. Oh, there goes the Stormin' Mormon. Yeah.
I would be honored to be called. Actually, not anymore. But I think that's really funny.
There goes that Stormin' member of the church. Ooh, with the Donner Party. They're going to eat the competition.
What is that?
That's the cannibals.
Oh my gosh. Who submitted that? That is awful.
But more fitting to hockey than a lot of these.
The bees. Sorry, that is actually taken by
That's why it's a wrong answer.
Oh, okay. Mavericks, but the mascot is a fountain soda or a burrito.
There you go.
That would be so
You know what,
funny.
interesting though, on the list though was Yetis, and that was Mavericks' mascot, at least for some time.
Really?
Well, when we made their water, we had a Yeti on it, but they changed their branding.
You made their water. We're like, what? You make water? Okay. Okay.
But yeah, Maverick, like, have you seen they had bottles? I think they changed their branding, but it used to have like a Yeti on there. I don't know if it was just on the water, if it was on other stuff.
So glad they
So if
changed
they
their
make it
branding.
the Yetis, then it's kind of low key. Yeah, the Maverick.
Yeah.
The Lamanites. There you go.
Oh my gosh.
They probably did not play very good hockey
And why?
because there wasn't ice.
Oh. How do you know that?
Seemed pretty warm in all the accounts.
True. Okay. The Salt Lake Sunbeams.
There you go.
I'm on board. That would be really cute. They could have like little sun on their jersey.
I just saw the essential oils, which actually made me think that their team name should be the MLM Hun. The MLM Huns. You know?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because I feel like a lot of the MLMs here actually sponsor a lot of stuff. Like they could get
There you
doTERRA,
go.
they could get
They could have all the ends, you know?
Yeah. The Gadianton robbers.
There you go. Stripling Warriors would be pretty strong, except for the fact everyone outside of Utah would think it's the Stripping Warriors and be very confused.
So true. Yeah, we can't do that. I love that though. The Mormon Battalion. That's a good one to end on. That one's actually, that's fun. I mean, not fun, but like.
Well, that wasn't bad.
What?
Mormon Battalion?
Oh yeah, none of them died.
Well, there was one guy.
Okay.
He accidentally shot himself in the foot and got sick and died.
Okay, San Diego return missionary. No one knows that story but you. I've never heard of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if any
I think
of
there are
this
other
is
people that got
usable.
sick too and stuff, but no battle deaths.
Was this even a good episode?
I ask that every day, and you get to answer for us, our audience.
Okay, let me end this.
Well, folks, we told you it'd be a short episode, and we don't know if it was or not, because it all comes down to how good of a job our editor does, because we did not film a short episode. But if you see a short one, great job to the editor.
Claps for Tyson. Give Tyson
And
a shout
if
out.
it's a long episode, sorry. That was her fault.
It really was. I can't control myself. I don't know how, like, I've been doing TikToks and Reels, like, they have to be under 90 seconds. I'm like, if I've been doing that, surely I can film a less than 30-minute podcast episode. No, I can't.
The problem is Mimi does this with church talks. She does this with lessons. She prepares too much material.
Oh, okay.
She over prepares, so then you just have too much stuff to go over, but you want to hit it all because you prepared, you put the effort in.
It's true.
Because like I was looking at that list and I was like, wow, that's way too many for a nice 20-minute episode. We should only have 3 on the list.
Only 3?
Yeah.
I hope this episode is 15 minutes long.
All right.
Now we're just blabbering.
Let's wrap it up.
Who's the chatty one now, Eric?
I think it was important for you to hear.
You tell me that every day anyway.
What?
No, just when it's relevant, just with church lessons.
Oh, about going, like, preparing too much? Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely don't tell you every day.
Because you know what? Sometimes it comes in handy. You know what I prepared too much for? Our meal plans. And do we ever go hungry? No. We don't. Eric,
That's not where I thought you were going with that.
I'm highly organized with our meal plan for the week. I'm just saying. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any other news stories like in the future, feel free to send them my way on Instagram or on the Third Hour Instagram. And let us know if you liked this style of video and being kept in the loop. But let us know your thoughts on any of the topics we discussed, and we will talk to you next time.
See ya.
Bye.